Well, good morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, let me tell you. I think we're gonna get some rain today. Actually, I think it's probably a little sprinkle overnight. Gonna get these chickens fed here, and then what are you whimpering about, Ben? Oh well. Anyways, get these chickens fed, and then get me some eggs for breakfast here. I'm pretty excited about that. It's one good thing about having your own chickens is you can basically have a never-ending supply of breakfast food. Come on, piggies! Come get your breakfast. Oh, schlock. Yum yum. Okay, now to feed the gypsy chicks. We did actually move the chicken tractor yesterday, just because you can see they're free ranging in here now, in the old sheep pen. But they like to go in the shelter to hang out or spend their evening. Kind of, there's a good protection there from aerial predators. They just feel safe in there. But if they're pooping in there all night, it's not a good place to have it there for many, many days. So just shimmied it down another 20 feet, and then they got some fresh grass to lay on. Come on, chickens. Come on, chickens. Breakfast time. I don't have any egg baskets out here with me, but I guess I got some egg cartons. Let's take an egg carton in the chicken house and pick up eggs like that. Next thing I want to show you, we did have somebody ask yesterday how we feed our chicks through their life cycle, and so I just want to show you quickly. Well, I can explain it, I guess. I don't have to show you, but so our chicks, when we first get them, they're on chick starter, and we run like 25 chicks at a time. And they get 2 bags of chick starter, and by then they're about 4 weeks old. That's how long it takes to run through that. And then they switch to the same grain that we feed all our layer chicks, which has got peas, oats, barley, wheat, canola, all that stuff in it. We get it from Bloom Enterprises here locally. And then we don't feed them any like commercial layer ration. We get this custom grain blend. And then we add oyster shell once they get old enough to start laying eggs. We do soak the feed after they're about 6 to 8 weeks old, just because chickens are messy eaters. They're not definitely not somebody you would invite to the dinner table. And so they'll get in there and they'll just scratch and throw their food around, and it can make a heck of a mess and waste a ton of feed, right? Now, once they get a little bit older yet, like once they're laying age, we're fermenting that feed. So we ferment it over the course of 3 days. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm actually just in the bathroom in the shop where we got the garden hose and stuff set up. So we'll put 2 scoops of grain in a bucket, and then a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, and then we'll fill that bucket 3/4 of the way up with water, so that the water has a good 5 to 6 inch cover layer over top of the wet grain. And that just creates an environment where there's no oxygen can get in, other than obviously what's contained inside the water, but no external oxygen can get in, no bacteria and stuff like that can get in. It sits there for 3 days and ferments, and so you'll eventually start to see, you might see right away, you might see bubbles on the surface. That's just, all the air coming out of the grain. But after 2 days, you'll see more bubbles start to, almost like a foam coming up. And then day 3, what we notice is the foaming stops, and it kind of drops, and the water on the top clears, and that's your signal, like that's go time, right? Time to feed. And we found that if you go, some people, they do this, they go 4 or 5 days. What we found is that we can't make the feed last 4 or 5 days. It will actually spoil at that point. So that's when that's trigger time for us to just, okay, let's get it fed. All right. It's time to go get our eggs for breakfast. Oh yeah, I definitely forgot eggs yesterday. There's tons of them in here. I got an egg carton, but I might not have enough room. I might have to pack them in my sweater here. Well, there was 20 eggs, so I got 2 extra. That's perfect. I'll make these 2 my breakfast. So I just want to speak to Yesterday's video, maybe at a point of clarity. Yesterday's video was on meat scams, and it's kind of an unfolding trend, unfortunately, right now. It's a very, very, very sick situation for both producers and customers. So if you haven't watched yesterday's video, I can leave the link to it down in the comments below. But I was referencing a particular situation that unfolded on Facebook between a producer and a disgruntled individual that it got really, really ugly, and it was a very unfortunate circumstance. And actually the producer that was involved contacted me this morning, and I don't think they were very happy that I was kind of referencing that situation. And I just want to provide a point of clarity. Like, I wasn't trying to speak to that particular situation, more just referencing, you know, the broader situation with producers getting scammed out of cash, purchasers, you know, trying to get some meat, and then it's just phantom meat. And it's so, you know, we live in a world where there's such a lack of trustworthy people on both sides of the spectrum. So very, very unfortunate situation. But I will say though, if you're purchasing meat from a producer, don't expect it to be like going to Costco, right? You can't walk up and just poke the meat, and then if you know, oh, I want to grab this one now, and then poke that one and then put it back in the fridge. It's not like that. It's a very different buying experience altogether. And so that's why yesterday I was really speaking to and encouraging buyers and producers both to develop a relationship, right? So that, you know, there's none of this like cold calling, hey, I just want to show up and just get a side of beef. Well, it doesn't work like that. Come out for a site visit, see what we're about, you know, understand what our inputs are, let us understand what your needs are, and if we're aligned, then we'll make a sale. And I will say that, you know, if you contact a producer with the intent of trying to separate them from their meat and not pay them the cash that they so wholeheartedly deserve after pouring their heart and soul into raising that animal, you are literally the worst kind of person, right? You're taking advantage of an unfortunate circumstance where packing plants are compromised, and a very good situation where producers are able to direct market, and shame on you if that's what you're trying to do. From the producer aspect of things, just, yeah, anybody that cold calls you out of the blue, you know, maybe your situation is different than ours, but I really recommend build that relationship before you make the sale, because there's going to be some shysters out there that want to come to the farm and, you know, take money right out of your kids' mouths, right? Anyhow, it's now just before 6 o'clock. I got to head off to work. I got a busy day. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Buy local. Drink lots of tea. And we'll see you tomorrow.